right, guys, we made it to Friday on our first week of virtual classes. Today, our learning target is I can explain the difference between a sea breeze and a land breeze. So let's get started. So the first part is we're going to watch a short video clip that kind of explains what we're talking about with land and sea breeze.
Jones Beach, and you can see there's a fairly steady breeze coming off the ocean at this point. That's because the land next to me has a very low specific heat. So it's heated up very quickly, it's an effective absorber, an effective radiator, it's given off a lot of infrared. And that warm area is creating low pressure. The ocean, however, is still really cold. Water has a very high specific heat, it's going to take a long time to heat up. So my high pressure is over the ocean right now. What direction does wind blow? Tidal up. So where we have low pressure, the air is rising off of my head because it's warmer. Then it's going to go across the top of the convection cell and sink where there's high pressure. And the bottom of that cell is the wind that we're feeling off the ocean, which is high pressure, and onto the land, which is low pressure. Now by about midnight, the land is going to radiate all of its heat, and now it's going to be colder than the ocean, which hangs on to its heat. So now the ocean is going to be the low pressure area, and the land is the high pressure. So the wind is going to blow off the land and out to the ocean. And I would show you that, except it's really difficult to film in the middle of the night.
Okay, so now that we've watched our video about land and sea breeze, I'm going to talk to you about what that really means. So I tell this story every year to my kids. My family and I, we go to Wrightsville Beach every summer for vacation. And when we went down a couple years ago, I was like, you know what? It's going to be beautiful. I'm going to get up early and I'm going to go for a run on the beach. Well, they have a running trail through downtown Wrightsville. So I'm like, oh, I'm going to use this great trail. So I'm running on the sidewalk and I'm dying. It is so hot, so humid, so sticky. It was miserable. So the next day, I'm like, well, I'm not doing that again. I'm going to try running on the beach. Let's see if that helps. So I'm running on the beach, and it was so pleasant because there was a nice breeze coming off of the sea and keeping me cool. So that nice breeze that was keeping me cool, as opposed to the hot, humid heat from inland, is called a sea breeze. Remember earlier this week we talked about how wind is named for where it comes from. Well, if the wind is coming off the sea and towards the land, it is called a sea breeze. If the wind is coming from the land and blowing out to sea, it is a land breeze. Wind is named for where it comes from. So, now, what is a sea breeze? On a warm summer day along the coast, this differential heating of land and sea leads to the development of local wind called sea breezes. The air above the land surface is heated by the radiation from the sun, and then it expands and begins to rise, being lighter than the air surrounding it. So when it rises, it creates that area of low pressure right here, rising warm air, okay? To replace it, the cooler air is drawn in from the surface of the sea, which creates sinking cooler air and higher pressure. It offers a pleasant cooling influence on a hot summer afternoon, okay? So we have this low pressure system of the rising warm air over the land and sinking cooler air, creating high pressure over the sea and drawing that cold air into the beach, creating a sea breeze. Because the air is coming from the sea to the land, it is a sea breeze. This happens during the daytime. Okay? Now, at night, the winds will shift. At night, the land cools off much faster than the water does. The water tends to hold on to its heat. So as that land cools, the air above it also cools and sinks. The warm air is now over the ocean, so it rises, creating low pressure, and then that cool sinking air is over the land, and it blows out towards the ocean. It's coming from the land to the sea, which means it is a land breeze, okay? So during the day, you have a sea breeze. During the evening, you have a land breeze. So you each have a graphic organizer that looks like this, okay? So you should have some crayons or colored pencils around you. If you don't, pause the video and go ahead and get those out. We are going to draw our land and sea breeze. So during the day, we have, here's the sand, the beach. Okay? And we have our sea or ocean. Now, the air above the land is warmer. And warm air rises, cold air sinks. So we're going to put warm, rising air creates low pressure. Okay? Now, remember, wind will flow from high to low. So we have high pressure over here because of the cool sinking air. Cool sinking air. Since wind will flow from high to low, that sea breeze comes in towards the land. And remember, this happens during the daytime, okay? Then that warm air moves out. Now we can't feel, the top of the convection current because it's above where you and I would be able to feel it. What we feel is this cool sinking air that rushes in over towards the land from out at sea. Okay? Go ahead and pause the video if you need to finish your drawing. And we'll move on to the land breeze. Now,